What's up, everybody? So wanted to just put out just a quick video of my first impressions with the Mamiya RB67. Bro, this camera is freaking just woo. I got the Pentax 6.7, and I haven't shot with that thing in a minute. But just having this, man, it's a joy to shoot medium format film again. But overall, just wanted to kind of share my first impressions with using this camera and how I can potentially use it with my workflow. I'm not the biggest fan of medium format, meaning I don't use it the same way I use 35 millimeter. I take it a little more seriously because the photos cost more, and good God, do I have a story on some stupid photos. But let's get into this. So I actually picked up this camera from a local neighbor, I guess you can say, off of the Nextdoor app, if you use that at all. But I posted a message a long time ago, like sometime last year, October, November or something, just looking for random people in my neighborhood that may have film cameras. And a couple people messaged me back, but this dude messaged me back saying he had a Mamiya RB67. And I was just like, dope, but didn't go pick it up. I actually picked this up a few weeks ago, after watching Vincent Perry Jr.'s kind of video. I think he did a video. It was the RB67. He did a video on an RZ. I don't know, but it was dope. The camera looked dope. Images looked dope. And I was just like, man, I got to get back into medium format. But picked this up off of him and for 200 bucks, and was just a little worried because I was just like, man, do I want to shoot medium format again? I do have medium format film just lying everywhere because I haven't shot it in so long. But am I overall just going to enjoy shooting the camera? Is it something I'm going to hold on to? I don't know. I still don't know right now. But from the images I have scanned in from this camera so far, of course, they're freaking beautiful. They're not the best photos. They're just some random photos I took for just a test roll to make sure the camera worked, make sure there's no light leaks or any issues with the camera or the shutter operation or anything. And 100%, I'm satisfied with what I got. Plain and simple though, I'm really impressed with this camera. It's so big, there's so much to it, it's so unique in its way, but it's definitely a challenge to use, and that's why I think I'm just going to need a little more time with this camera before I can kind of give a true how does this work in my workflow, kind of just update. But a few things to kind of note with this camera is, one, the whole bellows system. That's something completely new to me. I've never used it before. And understanding how to use like this little measuring or tool or metering tool, I guess, to understand how to take your photos is kind of crazy to me. I've never seen it before. So I actually watched a video on YouTube by some random dude. He was just explaining how this works, and I think he did a very good job. But I'm definitely gonna have to watch it like 20 times to understand like what he's talking about and just put application to it immediately, so I can like put my brain through that process and just know what the heck I'm doing with this when I'm, opening them up and using the camera at whatever said focal distance. But other than that, the double winding system is pretty interesting. You have to wind your film when you first load it up all the way to one there. And then, each shot, wind it there, wind it here, and then take your shot. Dark slide's in there. Where's the dark slide? It's on the bottom of the camera. See, this is why I'm saying I still need to use it. I was actually playing with this camera earlier and realized I didn't take any pictures in like the portrait mode. So that's why it was flipped over like that right now. Love that freaking shutter sound. It's beautiful. When everybody hears it, they're just like, dang, he just took a picture. But overall, this camera's dope. Like, it's freaking cool. The viewfinder, when you look down in there, it's so freaking just bright and beautiful. I absolutely love it. Easy to focus, fairly easy to focus indoors and kind of like a mixed lighting condition, but outdoors, super easy to focus. So I really enjoy that. With me, taking photos, you really have to just be mindful when you're using this camera, in my opinion, with the whole double wind system, so that you don't take double exposures. I saw Vincent Perry's video where he kept slipping up and like taking double exposures. I don't think it was like funny or anything, but I was just like, dang man, like That's something you gotta like keep in mind when you're using this camera. But overall, I think it's easy to use. I don't think it's a complicated camera to use. It's just a matter of understanding how to use the bellow systems. And I mean, I'm excited to learn how to use this camera. But overall, just everything works great. All the shutter speeds, you know, and apertures work. There's no haze or fungus or whatever in the lens. Pictures just look really clean, really nice, and sharp from the setting I shot. I think I was shooting stuff at 3.5 at 30th of a second. And I thought, because, you know, there's a mirror flapping up in this camera and everything, that the photos would be shaky, but surprisingly I was able to hold still enough and get a sharp enough image. But other than that, you know, I definitely got to try taking some photos here in like portrait and landscape mode. I really think this is like super dope, being able to just like flip that and, you know, take the picture in landscape or portrait mode. That's so dope to me. That's so sick to me. But overall, like the operation of the camera, A+. So to tell you just a quick little story about loading this camera, I don't know if it's a problem with this camera back. I don't know if it's a Mamiya issue or anything, but my very first roll HP5, I had to watch a video on it because I was like, I have no clue how to load this camera. Figured it out, took a minute. I couldn't get the spool that you put the film in to catch, but eventually I got it, shot that roll, messed up the last frame with like however I was winding it. Which another thing real quick, when you're winding, and I like this feature, but I don't know how much I like it. It locks, this will lock when there's film in there, so you can't like pull this back after you shoot your photo. You kind of have to tweak that over, then pull your shutter speed back. I don't know if that's something with this back specifically. I don't know how much of a fan I am of that. I appreciate it because it keeps me conscious when I'm shooting the photo, and not to like overwind, I guess. I guess I do like that. Again, just talking about my impression with the video. But my second roll of film, I think I just lost my train of thought, I don't know. My second roll of film, Portrait 800. If you've ever bought Portrait 800 in 120 format, you know how expensive it is. I bought a 5-pack of Portrait 800, and I've been holding on to it for quite some time. Bought it last year because, you know, everybody was like, the Kodak's prices are going up and everything. So I was like, let me stock up on some film. So, you know, film's precious and all, and, you know, you really don't want to waste your money and lose frames. Well, you know, I loaded the camera. This time it loaded perfectly. I got the back closed. I was fiddling with the back, had a little bit of trouble with the back, but eventually got it on there. And I put the back on first. I don't know if it was the way I was doing things, but I put the back on first and then, you know, started cranking it. That may have been my error. Please let me know in the comments below. But the counter was never going to 0 or to 1. And so I was just like, is the film winding? I kind of feel like it's winding when I'm pulling this little lever back, but I'm not 100% sure. All in all, I wound the entire roll without even getting to shoot it. So I was like, oh crap, I just freaking wasted a roll of 800. So my thought immediately was to, okay, take the roll out, re-put it on a spool, wind it again, backwards or whatever, you know, to its original form. Long story short, I wound it wrong. I wound it backwards, so the film was like outward when it, you know, rolled up and everything. And I mean, then this got jammed. That's not the main problem. Before I was able to, you know, rewind it fully back, this was just completely jammed. I couldn't pull it. Again, I don't know if it's a problem with the back or just the way I did something, but it was super frustrating. And so eventually I just had to take the back off, sacrifice and just expose a completely blank roll of 120 Portrait 800 and eat that cost. And I just had to quickly just focus on other things, shoot different cameras, go shoot other film, just go think about other things, just so that I don't piss myself off that I wasted a roll of 800. And now I am fearful for my life to even attempt to put another roll of 800 in here until I can throw a couple rolls of HP5 in here and just trust that I'm not gonna screw it up again. But overall, I really enjoy this camera. I'm definitely gonna try and shoot more with it. Unfortunately, you know, during this next 2 weeks, I was actually trying to just shoot and just have fun and just kind of just enjoy this entire process of film photography, but I'm working a job for a week, and so I kind of lose, and it's in between the 2 weeks I had free, so I lose all the free time I would have had to kind of just play and experiment. So maybe a little bit before, you know, I put out more stuff regarding this camera, but overall I just want to enjoy the adventure and the experience shooting film. So that's all I have to share with you guys today. Thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, I'd appreciate it if you give a thumbs up, comment below, all that, because I read all the comments. I love talking to you guys. Love making new friends and whatnot, man. Like, y'all are being like straight up, like, sorry for rambling, but Vincent, I mentioned him like 20 times in this video, but the dude's just like so real, so cool, such a just honest, genuine dude, goofy dude, and just, you know, reached out to me when I put out that video about, I think, like my state of mind or whatever. You know, just being super supportive. I just really appreciated that. So like, shout out to you, Vincent. Definitely go check out his video. Check out Jay Photo's video, his latest video on like London. I cannot remember the title right now. I'm so sorry, but I'll throw it in my like description below, because that video was fire. And like I told him in the comments, I'm gonna like steal some ideas from that. But like, it's honestly, it's genuinely probably the best film photography video I've seen on YouTube in a long time. That's not, you know, put together by some multi-million-dollar company and whatnot, but definitely check it out. So thank you guys for watching. Peace.